Okay, so the gold play today was an interesting one. I'm looking at my 1 minute chart here. I've got us scrolled over back to the first opening minutes I got in on gold. What is this? After a few minutes here, I started getting long, and I believe I made a little bit of money. I think I was up a little bit, took a little stop on one. I think I was negative at this point. I'd gotten long and I took a loss. I was negative, I believe. I ended up positive though. I ended up positive 400. So yeah, I can't remember exactly which on these markers here, which was winners, losers. It's kind of a jumbled mess in here. But yeah, I was trading micros, and the play was definitely long today. We knew it was long. Gold has been bullish, silver's been bullish. But at this time of day, the orders on the book weren't looking too good with Bookmap. I wasn't feeling very confident at this point. We were struggling here with VWAP. We had come up through it, we'd gotten through it. I was getting confident that the bulls were coming in, but they just came right back down, tested VWAP again. I just wasn't very confident with the bulls. I cut it. As you can see, my pink take profits are up near the top anyway. I just wasn't confident with what was going on here with buyers. And the sell-off was, pretty strong. Nothing major though, but pretty strong for a gold move. What is it, about 40 points? Yeah, almost 80, down below 80. So yeah, almost 40 points, about 35, 37 points. Selling back down and then just kind of chopping around for a while. And finally, as soon as I have to leave the house and I give up on waiting for a decent pullback, I was waiting for another test of VWAP, and I gave up right at 11:30, had to leave, and bam, parabolic gold again. My wife actually caught a nice one. She made about 800 bucks on a couple micros. It's just another example where I'm just not confident enough with these giant moves that we see. I'm not confident enough to really hold through much. If I don't see strong buying, I'm not too patient with these markets to try to sit on them and wait. I'm looking for the strong buying, and we just weren't getting it this morning. We got this kind of grind up here that, yeah, if you caught this lower high, this I definitely, or higher low I should say, if you caught this higher low down here, this was a nice long. I saw it later. I'd been doing some work and I missed this, and I regretted not buying this area down in here. This, when it got back to this 40s and 50s, I regretted not buying this. But I actually thought, the way it looked at that time, I actually was thinking that we were going to push lower. I was thinking that the buyers were failing, and I was thinking that VWAP was rejecting, and I was thinking we were going to push lower actually around this stuff. So I wasn't really too into a long here, even though it did look tempting. It looked with that higher low right there, 7 o'clock. I was tempted. I almost got long in this, and I definitely regretted it, because then after that it was just grind, no real pullbacks. I thought about it here on the VWAP bounce, but it still looked like it was setting up a lower high off of this. It looked like it was setting up a lower high here with this pullback, and then next thing you know, bam, bam, it's right back up to point of control. So yeah, I was definitely too hesitant in all of this stuff, because I was bullish. I knew that the gold market is so bullish, but I was too hesitant with the price action, and also just the orders on the book. The orders on Bookmap had me hesitant too. So yeah, it was a second guessing myself day that could have paid very well. All I had to do was sit on my original trade, and I could have handled the drawdown. My original trade was only a couple of micros over here, and I wouldn't have, that's not that much heat. What is it? This is up in the 60s, 40s. So yeah, you're barely talking $500, $600 of drawdown. That's no big deal to me these days. So yeah, if I'd have just sat on the original trade, suffered through the drawdown, and just ignored it all day, I would have had my. I was asking for $100, go from the 60s up to the 50-60 up to the 51-60. I was gonna look for $100 move. So yeah, I would have had it. $100 on 2 micros on gold. You're talking $2,000. That's no joke. That would have been a great day. That would have been a really nice start to that account. That was a first trade on that account. That was a new PA. That's this guy down here. 21 total contracts traded and made $400. So that just shows, my lack of patience, my lack of ability to sit on them and wait, because I had the equivalent of 2 minis basically, and I only made $400. So it's like going in for 2 minis and getting 10 points. So not a very good uh, not a very good trade overall. I would grade myself with a C. This is kind of like my average. How I do a lot of trades. I don't do a lot, especially in the morning, and it's volatile and I'm not certain how things are looking. Things are uncertain looking. I tend to be quick to lock in profit. That was all those trades that I did on this one. I was quick to lock in profit. As soon as I had some decent profit, I was sliding my stop up, locking in profit, getting stopped out for small amounts. I think I had like 3 out of 4 trades or something like that, or 4 out of 5 trades or something like that were winners, and I had like 1 loser. Uh, but yeah, I'm very aggressive at locking in my profit when I'm not feeling good about the market. But there's times where I'll sit on a couple micros and take some drawdown and be patient and wait all day. I'll do that sometimes, but on these PAs especially, I tend to lock in profit pretty aggressively. I'm not very comfortable holding anything in these PAs yet. When I'm in the PA, I'm pretty paranoid and locking in profit, and I don't want to be patient. I mean, I've done it. I've been patient sometimes, but not very much. I'd say maybe 10% of my trades that I've done over the past year, as I've been making money and being overall profitable on my trading. Um, I have a winning percentage overall on the number of evals that I passed compared to the number that I took. I have a winning percentage there. My overall trade percentage is averaging around that 70 to 80%. I have weeks where I go 90% for a week or two. I've had back-to-back 90% winning average weeks, stuff like that. And it's just because I'm just locking in profit so aggressively. I'm not willing to be very patient with these PAs, and especially in the daytime, the market open hours, I'm not willing to be very patient during these times. It's such a volatile market right now. We have so many random things that pop up. I'm just not a hold and wait kind of person overall anyway. Since the beginning of my trading, I haven't been a hold and wait patient kind of trader. I'm an in and out scalper. Don't want to be in the market. Don't want to be exposed. I'd rather be patient and wait for good entries rather than uh, trying to be patient and wait all day for the big moves. That's always been hard for me to wait all day on trades, but more and more I'm seeing where if you're in a trending market, you got to be willing to wait all day to get the big moves. My wife is good about that. She has had some good days recently here with some big trades. She had I believe she got 300 some points out of the NASDAQ the other day on an overnight trade. She's had some big trades because she's willing to just ignore it and walk away and just be patient. And she'll sit on her little 1 or 2 micros for the whole overnight and all day and let the market close at 1 p.m. She don't care. She'll just totally ignore it. So yeah, she hasn't been able to pick good enough entries. I keep talking to her about picking her entries because she has the patience to really hold and be a good trader, but she's just not patient enough about her entries. When she's patient picking good entries, she's really good. Her first couple years that she was trading, she passed quite a few evals and she built up her whatever she had 12. I think she got up to like 12 PAs, and then I don't know, she just got stuck. Once she hit like 12 PAs, she just got stuck, and she hasn't passed an evaluation account in a couple years now, and she's been trying every month. She's been trying. She's had one of the 250K accounts that was on sale back in 2024. I believe she got it back in 2024, uh, back with the election. They had a sale on any size account, and I had some 150s. I had a 250. I passed several of those, and I blew them all. I blew all those PAs, and my wife had the 250K account that you got it for whatever it was, 90% off or whatever the deal was back then. You got it super cheap, whatever it was, and then every month after, she's only paying like, I think it's $35 for her recurring monthly, so she doesn't care about it's a recurring fee because it's a cheap recurring fee anyway. So she's actually held on to it for over a year now. It's going on like almost a year and a half. It's like a year and 3 months or whatever that she's been trying to pass this 250K account, and she can't pass it. And I keep trying to tell her about being patient on her entries because she's so patient on her exits. So yeah, if my wife can get better on her patience with her entries, she's going to be a great trader, it looks like. And if I can get patient on my exits, I can hopefully be a great trader at some point too. But yeah, as we can see, the accounts are all green. I failed at eval that I pushed real aggressive and got wiped out by gold actually. Pushed 50K eval and wiped out on the first day. I think I'd made like a $600 trade at first, and then the very next one that I got into, it went bad on me. I sized up, and then gold just eats you up. It moves so fast sometimes, and yeah, it ate me up and failed me on that first day on that eval. So that's what happens sometimes on those 50Ks. If I size up and I take a big loss, sometimes I just let it go and just let it fail. I don't really care. This is one, I have one that's recurring cheaply also. Apex used to have 80% off, and then each month after was 80% off. So you'd have these forever $34 or $35, whatever it is. So when the evals are cheap, I don't really worry about it. If I blow it up, if I take some size and I blow it up, I don't really care. This one, I think this one goes back to like last fall. I've had this one for a while that I've blown it up several times, just knowing it's a cheap eval and not caring, and just one or two minis kind of size, and I'll get into a big hole and just oh well, it's already down 1,500. Oh well, whatever, let it fail. So that's not a good. Obviously that's not a great way to trade, and I don't usually trade like that. But with the 50K, if you lose $1,000, if you lose $1,500 right off the bat, it's pretty hard to get out of that hole. I've tried, and I don't think I ever dug out of that hole like that. I've tried a few times. I've tried with my PAs too a few times where, $500 left or $1,000 left. I just lost one not long, I think last week or the week before. I just lost one that I'd gotten it down to like, I think $500 or $600, and then I took some more losses and it was down to like $200 or $300, and then I made some gains and got it back up to like 600, and then I took a couple of back-to-back losses and just lost it. So yeah, it's hard with the $2,500 is not that much to try to trade with, and especially in these markets with these crazy moves that happen in these markets these days. So yeah, I'm happy that I've held on to the PAs that I've held on to. I'm happy that I've built the buffers that I've built. I've got 5 that have built up the buffers. I just got this 2,700 one. I just got that one up over the buffer recently here, and this 3,200 one, I took it over. It was down around 2,700 recently, and got it up over 3,000 in the past, I think, about month. I think I only trade the PAs a few times a month. I don't trade them. I don't trade these ones that I got over the buffer. I don't trade them that often. I'm more focusing on building up new ones and evals to resupply the if I fail on the new PAs. So yeah, I do trade a little more aggressively on new PAs than I do on older PAs that I've got the buffer on. Once I've got the buffer, I'm slowing down a little bit, and not a big difference, but a little bit. I back off from like in here I got it sized up to, I think I got up to like 6 micros on this one, and on the PAs that's quite a bit for me. Getting up to like 6 micros, 10 micros, that's quite a bit for me. And so then on these ones I'll probably max out at like 2 to 4 micros and try to play it a little more safe on these bigger accounts here as I'm trying to grow these. So yeah, we got to get these accounts we got to get these accounts up over 10 grand to start even thinking about payouts. And if I'm starting to get confident, I might actually start using my trade copier across my buffered accounts once I start to get over that. If I can get over 10 grand on all the accounts that are past buffer, even if any of these get past buffer, if I can build up at least 3, 4, 5 of the accounts with 10 grand, I'll probably start taking little payouts, little minimum payouts out of each account. But it'll just depend on how I'm feeling, how I do with it, because I'm not in a rush. I'm not in a rush to take payouts. My big goal really is 50,000. I want to make 50,000 profit in each account, and then push that to 100,000. I think if I can build up these accounts to 50,000 profit each, I think that 100,000 is like right around the corner, basically. So that's for now. My short-term goal obviously is like that 10,000, then 20,000. You just stair-stepping your way up. But I do think that there's going to be a sort of a sizing psychological effect that's going to happen when I start getting up there into that 25 to 50,000 in the account. That hopefully I can start to make quicker gains and still be disciplined with my stops and continue the steady growth and size up appropriately. So yeah, I'm still trying to work on that basic discipline with the overall perspective and the overall attitude and outlook to be able to do exactly the same trading regardless of the sizing. So whether it's taking your stop at the right time, or whether it's entering at the right time, or whether it's exiting at the right time, whatever aspect of the trade you're looking at, I want to have that psychology well established and ingrained of treating the risk with respect and treating the entries with respect and going at it from an attitude of, I have to protect my accounts. That's been the big thing that I've learned, is protect your accounts. Be careful with your accounts. Whenever I've gotten reckless and careless, it's always blown up in my face. So yeah, it's going to be interesting over this next year, because last year was definitely my best year. And so it's going to be interesting to see if I can continue the progress and do even better this year. Because I did sort of hit a wall in the middle of last year where I struggled a bit, and then towards the end of the year I started doing better again. So it wasn't like it was just a great year all year long. It was up and down last year too. So if I can have a pretty steady year where the downtime isn't too bad and the uptime is hopefully, I'm hoping I can do much better with more patience and more positive on my positive outcomes. I've had some good patient trades that have encouraged me with the power of being patient and holding on to trades for longer time, especially with these micros. It's very powerful if you can do it. I've seen my wife do it several times, where if you can really have that patience and you can really stay out of it and leave it alone and let it do its thing, you can sometimes get those really big trades. And that's what I keep hoping for. Like my 6 micros that I had on gold this morning was, I did think about that quite a bit after I saw what happened in the afternoon. This $400 that I made obviously would have been closer to 2 or 3,000 if I'd have been more patient and just asked for a little bit more. And I didn't even have to get the big move at the end of the day or anything. I could have had a great trade even coming up here to this 5,100 on 6 contracts from down here down in these high 60s, low 70s down in here. You're talking, 40 some points. You're talking almost $3,000 right there just on that move. If I'd have just been patient and just caught that move, that's almost $3,000 right there. So those kind of bigger days are well within my reach, and I know that I'm very capable of holding on to 6 micros for, what is this, an hour and a half or 2 hours or whatever. I know I can do that. I've done that plenty of times. So it's just market conditions do keep spooking me out of the market, admittedly, and sending me. I wouldn't say I'm getting much. I get the regret. I'm not really getting the FOMO so much where I feel like I want to chase it and stuff like that. I haven't been doing that for a long time, but I do feel regret that I'm like. I keep telling myself that I'm gonna hold these trades and be more patient. I've been saying it for years. I've at least 3 or 4 years I've been trying to be more patient on holding on to winners and don't move your stop up so quickly. But I keep finding reasons to move my stop up. I keep seeing things that are telling me, oh, it's not looking good. And I mean, technically, if we're talking about day trading and intraday movement, yes, I was correct on my assessment of this being the right side of the V. I knew I was buying the right side of the V instead of trying to guess the fall on the way down. I was seeing buyers stepping in, and I'm joining with the buyers as they're stepping in on the right side of the V and looking for this break. And it just didn't break higher than these over here or these over here. And we were not looking good on the order book. And so I was reading conditions correctly, but I really could have held through this drawdown. So I was reading conditions correctly when I was seeing the turnaround coming, and I just about shorted this, and then I remembered, what the hell am I thinking trying to short gold, and I thankfully stopped myself from that. So yeah, I have no plans on shorting gold or the indexes anytime soon. But I've got to be patient if I catch a good long like I did this morning. I mean, I caught a pretty good long right off the VWAP there and could have had a crazy trade if I'd held all day. I mean, to go from 70 up to 190, that's 120 points by 6 contracts. That's 1,200 times 6. That's, what is that, 72? Is that right? Oh no, 62? Wait, 72,000 or 7,200, I mean. Yeah, it's like 7,200, I think, right? It's a big trade. That would really help. That would really help towards my big account goal. That's my real goal, is to get an account or multiple accounts built up over that 10, 20, 30, 50,000 range, and having these kind of $3,000, $5,000 days where you're catching big moves. That's obviously going to go a long way to building those accounts. So yeah, there's a bit of regret there when I look at it like that, because I keep trying to psych myself up for these big moves and these patient long, wait and hold all day. I keep trying to psych myself up for it, and I keep just locking in profit, inching my way along. But I am successfully inchworming my way through these accounts and building up profits, but I still have that tendency of being too patient on losing trades and not patient enough on winning trades. So we'll see how it goes after the market reopens here. I'm going to definitely be looking to get long off gold again, even though these are crazy all-time highs. Gold is just not looking back. So whatever anybody thinks about it or says is the reason, I don't know anymore. All I know is I'm trying to just follow what the market is doing, and this market is bullish every single day just about. So unless we see a massive gap down, bunch of selling right off the open, I'm going to be looking to get long pretty quick here after the reopen at 3 p.m. because this is mega bullish after whatever the hell happened at, what was that, 3 p.m. Eastern today. Whatever the hell happened there, was it a bond auction or somebody said something, I don't know. Gold said, I think I'm going to go up 100 points. Or $100. This isn't points, this is gold. $100. I'm so used to saying points because of NASDAQ and ES. $100, 1,000 ticks. It's crazy. Like it's just mind blowing. Like people, if you don't trade gold and you don't understand the dollars per tick, you're looking at a $200 range that used to be unheard of in gold. If you haven't looked at it much, $200, 2,000 ticks, and you're talking $1 a tick. One micro could get you a $2,000 day today if you had bought the bottom back at the open yesterday. Yesterday afternoon, if you'd got that early bottom down there and you just held on to one micro, you could have had a $2,000 trade off of one micro. It's insane. If you're trading a mini, that's a $20,000 trade off of one mini if you held that all day from bottom to top. I mean, that's an insane amount of range and potential in this market. I mean, the ES is over here with this little 46 points. What's the NQ at? Like 280, 280. So yeah, NQ would get you about $560 from the bottom if you held from the bottom to the top on a single micro, and ES would barely get you what, 2,500 on a mini, 250 on a micro. I mean, it's just an insane to think that gold, you can make so much in gold in these moves. These are incredible moves. So it's both exciting and terrifying at the same time, because the moves down can be strong too in gold. They just had one the other day. Yeah, we dropped pretty quick yesterday afternoon. Was a pretty quick drop in gold compared to how it's been going up. This end of day drop over here. This was another, yesterday I'd gotten along and had it and got stopped out too quick on the same kind of stuff again, buying the right side of the V again, waiting for the dip, waiting for the volume. I saw the volume come in on the dip. The volume came in real big. They were wicking it, and yeah, I didn't hold. So I had a nice long there, but then whatever happened here, 10 a.m., boom, big rejection. This is a big move in only a couple of hours. So there's a lot of potential in gold, but it's risk too. There's a lot of risk as well as the potential to make a lot of money. Yeah, this was yesterday afternoon. I mean, I could have just sat on that. I literally could have just sat on my yesterday afternoon entry, and this would have been a nasty drawdown too if I'd have waited through this drawdown. But yeah, I read a turnaround here. I got out. I read a turnaround and moved up my stop and locked in, and sure enough, it turns around. But then I missed this. I did not think this was a good signal to get long, and then this wick didn't seem like very good overall volume. It was big for the overnight, but compared to this stuff in here, this wick didn't have as strong a volume as I was looking for. I wanted to see volume like something like this over here on this wick over here. I saw this happening. I was watching this too yesterday afternoon, and I just about got long off of this down in here, and I was going to get long on this candle open up right in here. when this candle closed with this bullish, and I saw it had this decent volume, I was tempted, but I was like, nah, that volume didn't seem high enough. And so I actually kind of thought that this was just going to hammer, and then I thought it was actually going to try to roll back over again here, kind of test VWAP and roll over. But it just bam shot up, and I did regret that one too. So yeah, I just stayed out of it last night. We kind of chopped around, and then this morning I did feel it that the buyers were going to step in. I was feeling it that the buyers were going to step in. It was looking bullish again on the order book. But yeah, I didn't have the courage again. If I could have the courage to hold on to some of these trades, I could have some pretty good trades here instead of just getting these little scalpy kind of trades that I'm getting for 10, 15 points or whatever. So yeah, we'll see what happens after the reopen at 3 o'clock. We'll see if they just gap up and just don't look back, or do they drop it back, pull it back a bit. But I'm gonna have to watch some videos here on YouTube from my financial guys. Jason Shapiro, let's see what he has to say. Let's see what Gareth Soloway has to say. Let's see what some of these old school guys have to say about what happened today. Maybe they know something about what happened in gold. Pretty crazy move after the 12 o'clock hour. So best of luck to everybody out there if you're a trader, and be patient on those entries, be patient on everything, the exits, be patient on everything. This is a market that you have to be very patient, very picky.